Welcome back to part 2 of this 8-foot long waterfall here in Plainview, Long Island. If you didn't watch part 1, click the link right up there. But today, we actually get to build the waterfall. Remember in part 1, the first day we were able to demo out this existing retaining wall right behind here. When it was demoed, we were able to construct our new retaining wall. As you can see, right back here, about 3 feet tall. Look at how bad this fence was caving in before. That's because if you see all the way down there, that retaining wall was leaning against the fence right here, causing this fence to prematurely fail, as well as the retaining wall split in half. So we got the old wall out and we got the new wall in. Day 1 consisted of removing the waterfall. Day 2 consisted of building that retaining wall and then starting the excavation for our basin. Yesterday we were able to take out the rest of the remaining 4 tons of gravel in here from the old waterfall basin, replace it with aqua blocks, easier maintenance, more water storage. What is there to complain about? And then we were able to mock up our first set of cascades, which we're gonna have a weir stone here, a weir stone coming off this one, and we might extend it a little more, falling onto this one into a pooling area, and then ripping out into the reservoir. But now that we're here, we're able to flip this liner back, excavate behind this waterfall, and then start our next set of cascades, incorporating that 32-inch patio bowl somewhere in this area over here. I think, depending on how today goes, we can get most of this waterfall wrapped up. Now the next following days will involve doing some edge work, plumbing, and then cleaning up. But we have some amazing boulders to work with. For this little 8-foot waterfall, we're gonna have about 4 tons of boulders just in this area right here. It's gonna be a lot of rock work with multiple cascades, but we also have 13,000 gallons an hour of flowing over this waterfall. When we were building this retaining wall, as you can see, it rained last night. But when we were building this retaining wall, we didn't have this excavated. So yesterday we spent about 4 hours digging out this 1 foot wide trench, basically 4 feet deep, going all the way back down to the bottom, filling it up with 3/4 clean. So that is the drainage for this retaining wall. And the reason we didn't do that in the beginning was we didn't have anywhere to stage dirt. So we filled up the dump trailer once again in the front yard with about 2 to 3 yards of soil. We still have to excavate this top of the berm to lower our elevation so we can continue working in our waterfalls, because right now we want this elevation to be equal to that elevation. Right now it's slightly higher. This whole week we've been drenched in sweat. It's been close to high 90s, 100 degrees every single morning, every single day, with high humidity. Thankfully we have some shade in this backyard, but it is grueling work. We're 5 days in and we're only up to this part, which is crazy because 4 out of those 5 days have been spent just moving material. We've only have barely 1 day building this waterfall. If you're a homeowner trying to tackle this yourself, I would just highly suggest hiring a professional to come in and help you. The last thing you'd want to do is move 35,000 pounds of materials and figure out it doesn't look exactly how you want it to look, or worse, it leaks. But today the goal is to actually start working on the waterfall. This is gonna be our second day actually working on the waterfall. The other 4 days, like I said, we're just moving materials in and out, gravel, soil, getting that retaining wall built. But once we can get this upper section of the waterfall built, then we can get our diffuser in over here, get our patio bowl somewhere over there, and then we're gonna be transplanting that Japanese maple right back into the existing waterfall where it used to go. That way, this weeping white pine, that maple will frame out the waterfall. Another Jap maple up there accenting it. So stay tuned, because at the end of the video, you guys are gonna get to see what this waterfall looks like. I can already see it in my head. It's gonna look amazing. So you guys stay tuned, you'll see it in just a few minutes. we have to do today is wrap up this left side of the edging over here and then connect our additional party pump. When I say party pump, this thing's going to be running with an SLD 5 to 9,000, but on top of that, we're going to have an additional pump, 2 to 4,000 variable pump, just in case the customer wants some more flow out of this. With these variable pumps, the customer's going to be able to actually fine-tune his waterfall to see the amount of water he wants to see visually and audibly. But once that left side is edged completely, that pump is in, all we have to do is actually do some foaming. These pooling areas are going to need to be bibbed because a bunch of these rocks are sitting on gravel. So the bibbing process will just include foaming, putting in an additional piece of liner, and then foaming all these cracks and crevices so water actually goes over these stones instead of, as you see, right back there into those gravel pockets and then right out into the reservoir. We want to get as much water as possible to actually go over these waterfall stones. As you can see, right here is one of our weirs. If we didn't foam it, it would just hit this gravel, go underneath instead of over. Rob's going to be down here in the reservoir butting it up. What we're going to be doing here is more like a cobble wash. As these last cascades fall into this pooling area, it's going to rip over these stones, wash into the cobble, and then slowly disappear into that reservoir. After all that's done, we're going to have to clean up this backyard. We've had rain all weekend, so it's probably going to get really muddy here. So we're going to have to clean up the deck, clean up the street in the front yard, and then get all these additional stones out of here. It's going to be a full day of work, but at the end of the day, this waterfall is going to be running.
I'm ready. Oh my God. Oh, Gary is going to be so excited with the flow on this. It's beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Because he loves that waterfall. Oh my goodness.
Totally different, right?
Totally different.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is going to be... Oh.
This was 6 long days working on this waterfall, but I think every single day was worth it. Even though it was super hot and humid, this waterfall came out amazing. It's definitely top 3 for this year so far. We're only halfway through the year, so stay tuned to see what else we build. This waterfall's not even landscaped right now and it looks amazing. The water is still a little dirty from obviously new construction. If you've ever seen our old videos, you understand that our rock and gravel comes super dirty. Even though we try to rinse it, it never runs clear the first time around. So after a few days of running, this thing will be crystal clear. And if you guys are still tuned into this video, thank you so much. Also, if you could, just drop a like, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channels so you can see what we're posting and what we're building, and you can stay up to date with all of our builds.